Charles Wilhelm has become known as one of the country's top trainers for both horses and people. His approach to training focuses on educating the horse owner alongside their equine partners so they can form a strong bond and achieve an amazing partnership.
Something a little bit different, but I thought it was a good topic, and the reason is it involves people and horses, and specifically what it's about is therapeutic programs involving kids and adults. You know, since the 60s, it kind of started out people and kids working with horses, and we found that making a connection with the horse, a connection is just sometimes just petting a horse or just being there. And let me go ahead and introduce Alana. She's actually the head of SonRise, am I correct? Yeah. Okay. She's also my office manager, by the way, so she keeps me on the straight and narrow. This is Jamie. She's also involved with the SonRise program, and that, by the way, that is spelled SonRise. And, you know, Jamie works for the program. Part of her duties are to keep the horses trained and delegate and supervise. And so the reason I brought him in, because sometimes these programs are so popular now, is that there's a lot of stuff going on in these programs that maybe shouldn't be going on. And what do I mean by that? The heart is there. In other words, their intention is pure, and they've certainly seen the benefits of how a horse can help. But there's some operations to it that maybe should be addressed, because most people don't know what goes behind the scenes. They all just see the wonderful results of a program.
We look at three different parts of a program, and that is the volunteers, the horses, and the kids. Volunteers are a really important part of our program, and the training of the volunteers is important.
1, 2, 3, whoa!
We do a background check on volunteers and interviews with them before we have them work with the children. And then also training them to recognize horse behaviors so that if issues start coming up with the horses, they can recognize that early before it becomes a problem. Another important thing to look into is the horses. Horses are the mainstay of what we do, yet we're taking a 1,000-pound animal and putting a very critical child-based population on a very powerful animal.
A horse is always going to be a horse. And part of those natural behaviors is pawing and kicking and restless and moving around and pushing into each other, because that's part of the herd dynamic. And so the horse and the training of the horse, the horse really has to be a good soldier, and it really takes a special kind of horse. Not all horses can be a therapeutic horse, as well as not all horses could be a great jumper.
Another important thing to look at is participants, and there's a wide variety of programs out there that work with all kinds of participants, from children to people with challenges, to veterans, to corporate people. And so our program works with children aged 6 to 18 with social, emotional, physical challenges. And something we always look at is, do they have a doctor's clearance? There are some people that should not be riding horses. Children with Down syndrome, if they don't have a doctor's clearance, they should not be riding horses. And that's not something that everybody would know. It's important for the children to be wearing boots and helmets and long pants when they ride.
So there's a lot of responsibility that goes into the program, and that's what's so neat about SonRise. They're so thorough on their program. I have not quite seen or heard a program that is so thorough and so dedicated to the horses and to the participants and the volunteers.
We hope you've enjoyed watching Charles Wilhelm's Ultimate Foundation Horsemanship. Remember, to find out more about Charles and to see how you can get the most out of your relationship with your horse, visit Charles online at charleswilhelm.com.